top artificial intelligence executive just quit OpenAI for the second time in his career after only 5 months on the job. We are talking about Barret Zoph, one of the most respected figures in AI research, and his departure raises urgent questions about leadership turmoil at one of the world's most powerful AI companies. Zoph wasn't some middle manager. He was brought in to lead OpenAI's Thinking Machines Lab, the division focused on building AI systems that reason like humans do, not just pattern match. That's the cutting edge of what AI can become, and he just walked away. What's wild is that this isn't his first exit from OpenAI. He's been through this before, so when someone that talented leaves not once but twice, it signals something seriously wrong behind closed doors, whether that's a clash of vision, disagreement over priorities, or burnout from working at one of the most intense companies in Silicon Valley. Here's why you should care. If OpenAI can't keep its top AI researchers happy, that directly affects what kind of AI systems reach your hands next. It affects the pace of innovation, the safety guardrails, and which company wins the AI race. One executive's departure might sound like internal drama, but it ripples across the entire industry. So what exactly happened, and what does Zoph's exit tell us about the state of OpenAI? And here's where it gets interesting. Barret Zoph isn't a random executive. He's been a heavyweight in AI research for nearly 2 decades. Before joining OpenAI, Zoph spent years at Google, where he worked on some of the most groundbreaking AI breakthroughs in the company's history. We're talking about research that shaped how modern AI systems learn and improve themselves. His specialty is something called neural architecture search, basically using AI to design better AI. That might sound circular, but it's incredibly powerful. Imagine if you could automate the process of finding the perfect architecture for a neural network instead of manually tweaking it for months. Zoph's work made that possible. At Google, he published landmark papers that influenced the entire field. Other researchers around the world read his work and built on it. He's not just smart, he's the kind of person who moves the needle on what's possible in artificial intelligence. That's why his decisions matter. So when someone with his track record signs up to lead a new division at OpenAI, it's a massive moment. It signals that OpenAI is serious about this project. And when that same person leaves after just 5 months, that's a powerful signal that something's seriously broken behind the scenes. The Thinking Machines Lab is OpenAI's newest bet on what's next for AI. This isn't about chatbots. This is about systems that can reason through complex problems step by step, the way humans do when solving a hard math problem or debugging code. We call this chain of thought reasoning, and it's becoming the frontier of AI capability. Here's the difference. Today's large language models are incredible at pattern recognition. They've learned to predict what comes next with stunning accuracy, but they struggle with deep reasoning, multi-step problems that require breaking tasks down logically. OpenAI saw this gap and picked Zoph to fix it. The Thinking Machines Lab was his new mission: resources, autonomy, and a mandate to push AI reasoning forward. It's the role every top AI researcher dreams of. But 5 months in, he's gone. What went wrong? We don't know the full story. But possible explanations include conflicts over research direction, frustration with organizational structure, or pressure that became unsustainable. Maybe OpenAI wanted faster results. Maybe Zoph's vision clashed with Sam Altman's roadmap. What we know is the lab's mission is now uncertain. And that matters because reasoning-based AI is where competitive advantage lies next. So what projects are affected? The Thinking Machines Lab sits at the center of OpenAI's most ambitious plans. Zoph's departure creates ripple effects across multiple initiatives. First, there's the reasoning model line. OpenAI wants systems that can think through hard problems before answering, different from ChatGPT, which streams answers instantly, building that requires rethinking architecture, training, and evaluation. Zoph was supposed to lead that rethink. Second, there's safety research. A system that reasons is more powerful but harder to control. You need to understand how it thinks, whether its reasoning is sound, whether it might veer off track. Zoph was positioned to solve that. Third, there's competition. DeepSeek, Anthropic, and others are all racing on reasoning systems. Every month of disruption at OpenAI is a month competitors gain ground. Zoph's exit signals that OpenAI might be stumbling in a critical race. The timing is brutal Because AI moves fast. Small leadership gaps become months of delay when everyone's sprinting. And we're not talking about incremental improvements here, we are talking about the fundamental direction of AI research. When your top researcher on that direction walks, the whole company feels it. Zoph's departure isn't unique. The AI industry has seen a wave of high-profile executive exits recently, and it suggests something systematic is happening. OpenAI isn't the only company struggling to keep top talent. Meta's AI leadership has seen turnover. Google DeepMind has seen researchers leave for startups. Even Anthropic has had key people depart. The pattern is real. AI companies are having trouble retaining their best people at the senior level. Why? A few reasons stand out. First, burnout. AI research at this scale is intense. You're working on problems that are genuinely hard, with enormous resources at stake and the entire world watching. That pressure wears people down. Second, misalignment on vision. As AI companies grow, organizational priorities change. Research objectives change. Sometimes the executive's view of where AI should go doesn't match the company's direction anymore. Zoph leaving twice suggests this might be his issue. Third, startup temptation. Top researchers know they can leave, start their own company, and raise money easily. The exit option is always there. If the current role feels like it's not moving fast enough or hitting walls, why stay? Here's the twist nobody expected. Zoph's departure signals real vulnerability at OpenAI with serious implications. Here's what's at stake. First, product development. If research momentum slows, new capabilities get delayed. Users get fewer reasons to upgrade. Revenue growth plateaus. Investors worry. Second, competitive position. The AI race hinges on having the right people solving the right problems at the right time. When your top reasoning researcher leaves mid-project, competitors gain ground. Months from now, users might notice if OpenAI's reasoning models underperform. Third, talent signaling. When senior researchers leave OpenAI, it affects how other top researchers view the company. The best want to work with the best. If OpenAI looks chaotic, recruiting becomes harder. Fourth, safety. AI safety needs brilliant minds thinking deeply. Zoph's work on reasoning systems has safety implications. If that research loses continuity, progress slows. The bigger concern is institutional health. OpenAI grew incredibly fast. Maybe it's struggling at scale. Maybe leadership is making choices that brilliant researchers fundamentally disagree with. Whatever the reason, frequent executive departures suggest the company is fragile in ways nobody anticipated. But wait, there's something nobody's talking about. So how should you evaluate this as someone who uses AI systems? How do you know whether to trust OpenAI or hedge bets on Anthropic, Google, or others? Watch the departures. When top researchers leave, especially repeatedly, something's wrong. One departure could be coincidence. Multiple departures signal a pattern. Look at their public statements. When researchers leave, they usually comment. Are they saying nice things about what they are joining or criticizing what they are leaving? That's revealing. Check product roadmap against research. If OpenAI says it's focusing on reasoning but hasn't shipped a reasoning model in months, there's a gap between talk and reality. Follow who they hire next. Replacing Zoph quickly with someone equally strong shows confidence. Struggling to fill the role shows weakness. Stay flexible. Don't depend entirely on one company. Use multiple AI tools. That way, if one stumbles, you're not stranded. Tool diversification is smart practice. And here's the thing that changes everything about how you think about this. When you understand the leadership underneath these systems, you make better choices about which tools to trust with your work. Here's what this means. Barret Zoph's departure signals that even the world's best-resourced AI company can't hold onto its brightest people. When top talent leaves, it affects products, innovation pace, and AI safety for everyone. The short-term impact is likely a few months of disruption at the Thinking Machines Lab. Research slows, hiring restarts, momentum resets. But it's recoverable. OpenAI has resources and talent. Long-term implications are more interesting. We might be seeing an early signal that megacompanies dominating AI are vulnerable. If OpenAI can't keep world-class researchers satisfied, maybe nobody can at that scale. Maybe the future of cutting-edge AI lives in smaller, faster companies where brilliant people feel less constrained. What to watch? Does OpenAI announce a replacement for Zoph soon? How long does it take? Do other senior people start leaving? Most importantly, what does OpenAI ship on reasoning models in the next 6 months? That's where you'll see if Zoph's exit actually mattered. The AI industry is moving faster than ever. Companies are only as strong as their brightest people, and those people have options. Every high-profile departure reminds us that staying on top in AI isn't guaranteed, even for the biggest players. Follow for daily AI news like this, so you stay ahead of what's shaping the industry.